guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is going to be my first get ready with me since I've started my new channel, so I'm really excited. I actually recorded this I think yesterday, I think it was. I do have psoriasis. I know that I've mentioned it in my first video. So like the red patches that you see, I actually, again, it's psoriasis. I'll go into that a little more in another video, but basically I just have really dry skin. I moisturize my face first, and then here I'm going in with foundation. I always use Wet n Wild foundation. Yes, it's cheap. No, it's not high-end, but it is amazing. I absolutely love it. I always use a beauty blender of any kind, may not be name brand or beauty blender brand or anything, just a sponge. I always get it damp, and I always just pat. So I do use quite a bit of foundation. I do have, like I said, the psoriasis, the red patches, so I like to make sure that I get that completely covered. I always blend it out on my ears, behind my ears. A lot of people will do, you know, to their ears and things like that, and then have this white line behind their ears. And a second ago when I was showing you my ear, I have psoriasis again, and it's on my ears, and I was kind of just showing you how it looks kind of dry and patchy, and that's something that I struggle with, and so I use a moisturizer. Here I'm still just trying to completely cover my entire face, make sure everything's nicely blended, including my ears, behind my ears, down my jawline, and my neck. Some people put foundation over their lips. If I do, it's only by mistake. I actually do not purposely put foundation on my lips. I actually want to make sure that the red, the natural red of my lip is showing underneath of my lipstick. So this is a psoriasis spot. Basically, it's a patch of dry skin. And here I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Okay, so I use the Age Rewind. It's a super popular concealer. It is my favorite. It does really, really well for me. So if you have dry skin like I do, this is a really good one to use. Gotta love the faces we make when we put on our makeup. So I will put the names of all of the products that I used, since I'm not showing every single one of the products that I use. And randomly dancing again. Pretty sure at that point I knew how ridiculous I looked. So as you can see, I put concealer underneath of my eyes, on my forehead, lower forehead, on my chin, and a little bit on the bridge of my nose. That's pretty common where you should put concealer, depending on what kind of look you're going for. Here I'm pointing to the very annoying fan and light right above and behind my head that I hate for this video, but you know, it was kind of a last minute video. So I am really picky about the brush that I use for my setting powder. I like to use a long bristled, thin brush. So this is actually the e.l.f. highlighting brush, and it is absolutely perfect for setting my foundation. If I were to use a dense, short bristled brush, it makes my face look really dry. So I always to take this sponge and kind of pat out right underneath of my eyes right before I put the setting powder over it, because if you don't, you could accidentally take the setting powder and save any wrinkles or any lines that may be underneath of your eyes created from your foundation from like blinking. This is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I really love this brush. This is actually the complete opposite of the other brush. It's very dense, it's very compact, shorter bristles. You can get a more fine line or place the makeup in a more specific area. So again, this is Wet n Wild. It is a lightening powder, I guess, and a contour. Whatever it's meant for, I don't know, but I like to use that color for my contour. So the place that I put my contour is a little bit higher than the natural groove or shadow of your cheekbone. I put it just a little bit higher. For whatever reason, I feel like that adding that shadow back where it naturally is. I'm also adding the contour shadow around the outside of my forehead, around the outside of my face. This helps bring the center of your face forward. Depending on the shape of your face, you will want to do this a little bit different. I have a really large forehead, so I do shadow down a little bit further than someone with a shorter forehead should do. Also contour a little bit underneath my bottom lip, a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and underneath of my jawline. Now it's time for Butter Blush. So Butter Blush is from Physicians Formula. I've had this one for a very long time, actually. It's lasted forever, and as you can tell, it smells amazing. I love the way it smells. I use a really big fluffy e.l.f. brush. I think this one actually is a blush brush. Coming straight from the can. So here I'm going back in with that same Wet n Wild palette that I used for the contour, but I'm going back to the really soft highlight brush that I used for my setting powder, and now I'm using the lightening powder. So I'm going in with the original Naked palette. I will put the name of the color, I think it's Hustle. And that's my beautiful 12-year-old laughing at me, pretty much. She actually loves to be on camera too. Got her. Just want to know it. There ain't no way how you going home alone, yeah. No less, no stress, undress, I put it on, yeah. Can you keep going on until the break of dawn, yeah. I just want to. So obviously, depending on the eye look that I'm wanting to do, I will use different colors, simple colors, bold colors, just depends on what I'm going for. In this video, I actually just did a really basic, any kind of color in my crease, just as long as it's darker than what's on my lid. Then I'm going in with a different Wet n Wild palette and just putting a lighter color on my lid. Now I'm using the same, I believe it's Hustle. If it's different, I'll put it below. But now I'm using the same color that's in my crease to do my lower lid. Coming straight from the can, my heart knows the way, never get in my way. Now for my least favorite part of the whole makeup process, my eyebrows. I have very thin, small, almost non-existent eyebrows. I know what you want, can you get it done? I use this gel and then I kind of line up my eyebrows, and then I go in with this really e.l.f. Liner brush. using another Wet n Wild palette. I just use a darker color. This one's a little bit too dark, but I make it work for now, and just kind of draw on my eyebrows.
I know what you want, bun bun. Bet you wanna taste it, bun bun. Bet you wanna taste it. I know what you want.
So my favorite mascara of all time is Telescopic. It is my #1 favorite mascara. You'll kind of be able to see here how awesome it is, but you'll definitely be able to see later when the lighting gets a little bit better. So when I do my mascara, I focus on the outer corners of my eyes rather than the inside. I do all of my eyelashes with mascara, of course, but I just really focus on the outer corner and layer it a lot thicker.
How you going home alone? Yeah, no less, no stress, undress, I put it on you. Can you keep going on until the break of dawn? Yeah, I just want so.
So this cream highlighter stick is by Unique. I'm sure that some of you have probably heard of it. I have a couple of their products, but this highlighter is my favorite.
Like we got that flu, I'ma switch it up, my hair turn blue. Coming straight from the can, my heart knows the way, never get in my way. Snip on, snip on, snip on, snip on, bun, bun, bun. I know what you want, bun, bun.